Welcome back, everybody, to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. Join me, Sean, and my fellow American Rodney as we explore the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. Bite my lip and close my eyes. Take me away to paradise. I'm so damn bored, I'm glowing blind, and I smell like shh. It's summer in Sweden, baby, and Corona in this country is officially over, apparently. It's concert season. Had Green Day last night, Weezer opening for them. 2 days before that, I had the Wednesday, I had Nile Rodgers at Gröna Lund. Amazing.
Right. So you're doing the.
Got to get everything in right now. Got to get every concert, every opportunity to travel. It's revenge season right now.
Okay. Hey, did you hit Sweden Rock? I think Sweden Rock is back. No, maybe not that one.
I haven't seen it, but okay. I would have honestly missed Green Day. Apparently, the show that was supposed to go on 2 years ago, but then Corona happened, so it was one of these that they delayed, and they're like, hold on to your tickets. Your tickets are still valid. I wasn't part of that crew, but one of my friends was like, oh, Green Day is coming to Sweden. I'm like, yeah. But this whole season, I've been looking at the Gröna Lund stuff because every year, I don't know who does the booking, but they do an amazing job.
Yeah.
Nile Rodgers. I'm going next week to see Korn, and then they have Ziggy Marley. Yeah. Doing a tribute to his
amazing
dad.
lineup.
And then it's like John Legend, Dua Lipa is coming into and you paid 400 kroner, which is nothing. And you get to go all season to all these shows. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm like, you are so losing money on this. I don't know what you're doing, but
they have an amazing lineup. But I wonder, just out of curiosity, whether or not the artists, they're like, hey, how about Sweden during the winter? But no, I mean, trying to lure people to Stockholm during the summer, especially when the weather is starting to behave pretty properly now. We had a lot of sun, a lot of warm. Oh, it just rained 45 minutes ago. I mean, a downpour. So
I have this scrawled tally in my basement somewhere into the concrete. What's his name from Shawshank Redemption? He just etches his days into the wall. And of every day that Sweden takes a day of June summer away from me, where it's just 10 degrees and gray, black outside and cold. It's acting like it's going to rain. It's are you going outside or are you not going outside? If you're going outside, I'll definitely rain on you.
Yeah.
But if you're going to stay inside, then I'll hold off.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Check this out. So today we take my mom arrived safely. She is visiting. Picked her up at Arlanda, and she's still getting acclimated with time and food and everything else.
Yeah, for sure.
But we took her with us down to Lövhagen down here in Nynäshamn. That's our walk that we do down by the water. Really, really nice. And they have a spot down there, like a cafe. Older building that's converted into a cafe that we typically go down, and we'll take her for fika down there because my mom loves, and they have waffles. So for my mom, that's one of the highlights of her trip is going down there, getting a fresh waffle with whipped cream and some type of topping on it. So we decide today, we're okay, we'll bring mom, and then I brought a chair with us, a camping chair. Because it can get pretty busy down there when it's nice weather. And I was like, we'll set mom up in the camping chair, or I don't know what you would call it, collapsible chair, the portable chair.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The thing that you just kind of...
Exactly. So we, there's tables spread out on this big lawn, and, mom is doing pretty good, but we're going to try and get her walk wise, to start doing a little bit more distance. But today... Lynn and I get all set for our walk, and we're okay, we'll set up mom on the lawn in the chair, and then we'll go take our 30-minute lap. And then when we come back, we'll do Swedish fika. We'll get her waffle. We'll do blah, blah, blah. And So as we're setting this up, I see people are kind of looking at us. They're sitting at their, their tables, and, here we come. My mom is like, I want to sit right there in the sun. And I'm like, okay, in this big lawn area. I set up the chair. We plop mom down in the chair, and I, give her a kiss on the forehead. And I'm like, okay, we'll be back in 30 minutes. And the sun is shining. It's just, I can see my mom is thoroughly enjoying sucking in the sunlight, the sunshine, looking forward to the waffle afterwards.
I mean, that's like original Swedish pose going on too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I mean, she was like a sundial, I just like, I faced her towards the sunlight. But we go
it's
ahead.
Sunset when she just goes back in the house. That's when
That's exactly. But it's perfect. We get it all set up, and we're like, we'll be back in 30 minutes. Lynn and I start to get ready for our walk. We hit our little iWatch thing, ready, set, go. And we start our walk. So we get about 10 minutes into the walk, and this Wizard of Oz cloud moves over. Yeah. And let's just say that it wasn't a full eclipse, but the sunshine that was there 10 minutes before, when I left my mom in the middle of this lawn on a camping chair with people around, the next 15 minutes of the walk, I was just sitting there going, please let the clouds go away. Please don't let my mom be sitting in the middle of the lawn by herself.
As well, no one from that restaurant or anywhere else is going to be like, hey, excuse me, miss, would you like one of our blankets to keep you warm? I saw your family just walked off into the woods by themselves.
Exactly. And I'm thinking about, that's one of the many things going through my head. I'm like, wow, if it does, like, let's say a thunderstorm passes by, I'm pretty sure that somebody would help my mom indoors. But so the pace of but it was, we had a pretty good pace on that walk, because I was like, I gotta get back. And then I would say that was 10 minutes. It clouded over. That was about 5 minutes. And then the clouds moved, the sun was back, and I was like, whew.
Nice.
Yeah, that cut that one close, but it was really nice. And mom got her waffle. She was happy as anything, and that was a nice little medium outing, or good outing to get started with today.
Love it. And I love the picture that you sent to me when you picked her up in the airport, because she's got one of these, if anyone's traveled internationally, you've used it, or you have a bunch of bags. Nowadays in the airport, they have these carts.
Right.
In the U.S., you have to pay like, I don't know, what, $5-10 for it or something like that. Everywhere else in the world, they're free. But in the U.S., of course, it's a capitalistic enterprise.
Yeah.
But like the luggage carts, and then you throw them up, stack stuff up and all that stuff. You send me the picture, and all I can see is this little cute Swedish lady and what looks like 1,000 purses.
Oh yeah.
She travels with like 1,000, like a Mary Poppins, and she just like takes purses out of her bag, and each bag has a different thing.
Yeah. Mom definitely. What had happened is. So, for those of you that haven't heard her, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before. My mother's she was a flight attendant for 48 years.
Right.
So my mom flew for Pan Am, and then she retired with Delta. But for 48 years, she was a flight attendant. When she got ready to book this flight, we were looking at tickets and ticket prices. And, she started looking at like business class. Typically, the last couple of years when I fly, if I was any further back in the plane, I'd probably be pushing it. That's about.
Or you just sit on the toilet the whole ride.
Yeah, exactly. I saw business class one time as I walked by it, going to my seat. But anyway, so my mom is looking at it, and she checks. We're looking at the different sections, and then she sees business class, and she's like, "Well, if I'm going to do this long flight, this long trip, she hasn't been here for 2.5, going on 3 years."
Yeah,
and then she said,
"If you can do it, it's so worth it."
and she said, look, I worked for 48 years. I'd like to fly in comfort. And I was like, well, if you can do it, then by all means.
Yeah.
So she did it. And I don't think she's ever going to go back to being able to fly any other way, because she said that, she had 2 bags for one.
Yep.
Both of them are almost slightly taller than my mom. But she has 2 suitcases. She had like another bag, and then a handbag, and then she had her purse, and then she had just this collection of like Mary Poppins stuff.
It's like, how would we describe business class for people who've never been in business class? It's like, for people of my age, back when you were a kid and flying was like a thing. Nowadays, it's like taking a bus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just happens to be in the air, but it's basically a glorified bus. And everyone's fighting for the same seats, and it's just getting more and more expensive. And then the problem is, a bus, you just walk right on. You go for the plane, you have to go through all the headache of the security and taking your shoes off in the U.S. and like taking computers out of bags. And it's just like, maybe just invest in like a better X-ray machine. Some, please help me out here. Yeah. But like when you go in business, you're just like, you understand what people said about like the Pan Am days, or like before I was born, when like flying was like, it was a style thing.
Oh yeah.
Because like people would tell that, you see the old articles nowadays of like, people flying transatlantic, how luxurious. And I'm like, luxurious? I got a Wolverine trying to claw my face off all the time.
Right. Yeah. But that was, so when I asked her, I mean, she said everything. Service was fantastic. I mean, they took care of her on the plane. She said,
which airline can we say?
She flew SAS.
Oh.
Yeah. And she said that, I mean, the seat is basically horizontal. I mean, she was like lying down. Yeah. Slept great. I mean, she had a great trip, and well worth whatever.
And does she have that both ways?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. So it was, so she came, rested, happy, had a good trip. And yeah, it was nice that she was able to go ahead and fly that way.
Love it.
I did send you a little thing about the guy. I got there early. My mom's flight, where the last leg of her flight was delayed. So she borrowed somebody's phone down in Copenhagen and called me. My mom does that. When my mom flies, since she doesn't have a phone that works anywhere, if she needs to get a hold of me, she borrows somebody's phone. She'll be like, I'm just going to call my son. So
you're from Singapore? Perfect. I'm calling Sweden.
Exactly. So she, I start seeing my phone starts blinking. I check a look at it, and I think it's plus 45, which is Norway. And I'm okay. Something has happened. But anyway, they canceled that flight, but it's a commuter route. So the flights from Copenhagen it was like every hour and a half or something. Yeah. So she was on the next. So
she's
flight.
Flying into the southern airport. What is that one called? Right? She's not flying into Arlanda, or did she?
She flew into Arlanda.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but so she went Copenhagen, flight. Arlanda. It would have been nice if they would have just tossed her out over Nynäshamn and saved me.
Here's your parachute, GB Cooper. Bye.
Right. No. But it was. But I'm up there waiting, and I waited for a bit. For her to come, and I told you, I grabbed a cup of coffee while I was there's a little coffee. I don't know what coffee chain it is, but I grab a cup of coffee, and I'm sitting there waiting for my mom, and all of a sudden I hear this, and I was like, okay, and I look over, and I'm thinking, okay, it's the espresso machine. I'm thinking, okay, it's the espresso machine. So I keep on, I'm doing my little waiting thing, and I hear that. And I look over, and it just happens to be timed right then with the espresso machine. I'm thinking, wow, okay, it must be the steam part of the espresso machine. A little while later, I go and I stand right by where the doors open, where the arrivals come out after they go through the. And as I'm standing there, all of a sudden I hear this, and it's all of a sudden it's not over by the coffee machine. The thing is like over to the left of me. It's like to the left of me. So this sound, whatever it is,
it's a walking espresso machine,
was moving, and it's freaking me
reverse.
out. Right. And then I identify it, that there is a gentleman that has some type of throat clearing thing, and it was like I think I timed it because I was there for so long.
I'm gonna have to embed the audio file if I haven't already, but we'll put it right now. And it's like Rodney sounds like he's hawking a loogie. For anyone from the Northeast or from the U.S. knows what that is. But like, it's almost like a reverse sneeze. I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah.
I thought it was an espresso machine. so yeah. But what happened is that guy was walking around. I mean, I was staying stationary, but for the entire time that I'm standing there waiting for my mom to come out of the door, I hear that noise like emanating from different parts of the area. So it. I mean, you got.
It's that monkeypox, man. It's trying to find you.
Get entertainment wherever you can, and that was definitely some entertainment there.
Oh my God! Like if we didn't need one more thing at Arlanda.
And the thing about it was I wasn't the only one. The guy was so loud, and now that we just got through COVID, I mean, he was parting the sea of people wherever he stood.
Hey. Maybe I have to adopt this strategy when we get into the security line.
Yeah. A little cough or a little,
or like a,
yeah. Yes, that'll do her.
Be like, man, that monkeypox was bad, but this thing that I got, it's like rashy and everything.
All over, man.
Right up to the front.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'll just pass by here.
And I heard the rash gets like airborne and everything, The doctor said there's a cream, but I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah. You've been keeping up on the news, or you've seen the updates about Arlanda, about the airport.
I was in the middle of it. So
okay.
That was when we went to Greece.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago. It was all the way, like, you know how it goes back to that
that's
like
what you
big
said. That's right.
area, like the big like separation of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a terminal separation? I'm not really sure, but like there's the joint you can see.
Right. Yeah.
And
Terminal
normally
5,
that's where like all the backup starts happening, but then they put you through the security line right there.
Yeah.
But no, like it went all the way back to like the normal check-in gate for TUI. Like as soon as you like left TUI, that's where the security line started, and it went all the way down to the far end.
Right.
And I'm like, Hanata's like, we're getting in, we're going. So then we were able to skip everything because we had Dylan. So there was a guy sitting up there like the soup Nazi, like, you have a kid? You don't have a kid? No kid? No line here. Get out.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh my God, like Dylan, pretend you're sleeping because this guy's going to kick us out of the line any second. Do not show that you can walk. You know what I mean?
Do not, please. Dylan, do not.
Just play dead.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to go right through, and thank God we did. But like, as we were going through, that's when I looked over and I saw they had one gate open. I'm like, it's a computer machine. The security is still going to check everybody. So like, there's no, the people that are there are just there as like customer service. Oh, my thing's not scanning. You don't need that many people to do it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. But this weekend or the last couple of days, it's been bad for a while now.
Yeah.
And there are shortages of people working for the security company to try and get people through. We covered this during my flight adventure as far as Swedes whose passports expired over the last 2 years that all of a sudden are scrambling to try and get temporary passports to fly. And the ones that are going out to Arlanda Airport, to the police station out there, and like sleeping overnight, hoping that they'll go ahead and get it. But I read just a little while ago, because they were closing down the terminals. They closed down Terminal 5 yesterday.
What?
Yeah, they weren't letting anybody in. They did it twice. Arlanda Express, the train that takes you from Central Station to Arlanda to drop you off, was not stopping at Terminal 5 because they couldn't fit any more people in the terminal.
What is the other terminal? All the other terminals are closed. There is no other terminal.
Yeah. So like 2, 3, and 4, they're trying to reroute people there. They shut down the roads to drop people off at Terminal 5. You couldn't get to Terminal 5. They started sending people to the other terminals. And then I read this little article this morning where they interviewed one of somebody that was there, and I guess one of the problems is they went from telling people to make sure you get there early enough for your flight. Right?
Here we go. Here are the Swedes. You're going to tell a Swede to get there early.
Early, right. So people have started getting there like 6, 7, 8 hours before their flights.
Oh my God.
So
but is that like that's including taxis, nah?
Yeah. So they ended up with this log jam of people. The people that were leaving like within an hour or 2 hours weren't making it because everybody that had a flight 8 hours.
Now, see, when that happens in Miami, the people from the airline, they come through the security line and they say, flight XYZ to X destination. I need everyone here right now. And then they get everyone who's in the security line, and everyone has to kind of hold hands, and they like go around, and then they get express screening because they're like, if you're not on this flight, we're like grounding the flight and all that.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can put up this picture. I'll send you the picture. I'm gonna see if I can put it up. But have you seen that game with the cars where you have to like move a car a little bit to move another car a little bit to move another? It's like parking. There's a game.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You have to move like those little. Terminal 5 was so jam packed that there was basically nowhere to move. So once you got through the door, it looked like there was so many people bumper to bumper that I don't even know where you would begin to look for the line to go anywhere.
Christ.
So I'm doing a homation. I'm going to do like a little home vacation this year. Yeah.
So I'm basically going to have to build a helicopter.
And they closed. They closed
Ireland.
Yeah, I think Skavsta. I think the airport that's.
Why would they do that?
Hey.
You know what the answer to this is?
Right.
Pay the people.
Yeah.
Pay them. Pay them like more money than they need. Get them in there.
Yeah.
Clear it up. Because it's just going to keep getting worse.
Now, my news might be a little late. I might not be up with all of these negotiations, but there is like a ton of sauces having problems with their pilots. So
that's every European airline, isn't it?
But they're getting ready to strike at the end of the month. There's like 900 of them walking off.
That's what they do. That's European airlines. Like every summer, that's what they do. Every European union summer hits, they're like, okay, we're striking.
But couldn't they move half of the pilots to like the security place, and they could like help to check passports and stuff while they're holding their placard? No.
I don't know if that's how labor laws work, Rodney.
If that's okay. Yes.
Can we get to the buried lead?
Okay.
For the people at home, we know Rodney and I text back and forth normally a couple lists of topics that we want to talk about. We've hit on a lot of them, and there was one that just stands out, and I had to text back to him as an ex-journalism major. Right. You've buried the lead on this entire list. Please explain to the people.
Out of all of the multiple topics of possible discussion, which one is jumping out at you the most?
The second to last, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So here we go.
The last one's pretty good, but the second to last, it's got to be.
Okay. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So
hide your children, shield their ears.
Right. Yeah, we've made sure that all of our ratings are set to there. So I threw up here a topic that I'm just calling it unsolicited dick pics. I apologize if I'm shocking anybody. It's not intended that way. There is actually a story behind it. So on the train,
what had happened?
Yeah, what had happened is my camera. No, so on my way to work, it takes me an hour and a half to get to where I'm going typically when I go to the city. So I read everything. I read all the advertisements and all of the posters and all the things in the car. And one kind of jumped out at me, and I will post a picture of this. You will get the picture. But one popped out at me that was on the train that I was on. And I look up, and as I start reading, it in Swedish, it basically says, "Have you sent an unsolicited dick pic?" And it has a big question mark. And then it says, "Download our app and talk to an attorney today."
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't post this. I didn't post this because I didn't know where it was going to go. But this actually hit the news. These ads ended up getting pulled because somebody posted it before but somebody actually did kind of, I guess.
There has to be a volume of this thing happening, right? Because in South Florida, all of those attorney ads are like, did you get caught driving drunk?
Right.
Or did you do a DUI, or did you do a hit and run? Like, that's how bad it is.
Right. And that's kind of what, that's what struck me a little bit, because the first thing that went through my mind was, at least they didn't say that they had like a specialist. It's like, have you sent an unsolicited dick pic? Contact one of our specialists.
And guaranteed, he's got like greased back hair. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Go ahead, send me a copy of the pic. We'll see how bad it is. No,
I'll run it through Google, see what kind of results we get.
Yeah. So, not to, I guess, belittle all of the traumatic stuff around it. It just struck me as very strange. And yes, the ad did end up getting pulled, but you can imagine my surprise sitting there on the train. And
well, that's like, I saw a story on, what was it, BBC or CNN International?
Yeah.
That apparently Malmö has sexy trash cans.
Oh, the ones that make noise when you throw stuff away.
She goes like, give me some more. But in Swedish.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
okay.
Only here in Sweden, or maybe the Netherlands, would you get something like that.
Yeah. The same people that brought you the dick pic attorney.
All right, everyone, that is going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. But the fun does not need to stop here, and it does not need to stop now. We have uploaded to YouTube a very, shall we say, special after-hours clip of an extended conversation Rodney and I had after we closed out this episode. So definitely go over to YouTube, search for the Two Guys, Three Crowns podcast, and check out that clip as well. And then come back here next time for more Two Guys, Three Crowns.